Welcome. Take a moment just to be here, conscious of being here, grateful to be here. Wait for people to filter in. Today we're going to talk about energy. And without getting into it too much or at all, let's just feel it before we define it. We all have a sense of what energy is. Energy is the space in which all this is happening. It's the consciousness that we're sharing. Okay. There's an atmosphere that's created when we join here for this purpose, with this intention. What is our intention? Our intention is to live and become glorious. That's our intention. To form a community of individuals bursting with light, and a community that's bursting with light. Each one of us a cell of glorious light in the organ of community, because the earth is in trouble, and our fellow humans are in trouble, and the animals are in trouble, and the plants are in trouble, and Mother Earth is in trouble, and the ratio of sun to air to earth to water, trouble, trouble, trouble. So we're forming an anti-cancer cell here, anti-cancer organs, cleaning and raising our personal vibrations together, cleaning and raising the vibration of community, and radiating this out into the greater whole. And we're not the only people doing this. This is the yearning. There's a lot of people doing this. And there's the yearning and the internal need for this that is within all of us. And so we're doing our duty, fulfilling our responsibility to ourselves and to the world, to those around us, before us, during us, and after us. Today we're going to talk about energy. Energy. What is energy? Because it's a word that we use a lot, right? We say, oh, it's a really bad energy, or that's good energy, or I wish I had more energy, or energy is, on a personal level, on the level of life, it's the strength and vitality that enables us to think, feel, be, do. It's the life force, the life energy, right? Energy is energy, quite a definition. What energy is on the physics level, on the physical level, it's the ability to do work. It's that which makes change. Anything that changes is a result of energy. Now, we don't really know what energy is. In other words, the only thing the way that we connect with energy is we can feel it. But really, energy is something we see the effects of. Energy. No one really, we understand it when we get into very deep, well, we can feel it just in emotional levels, but we get into deep consciousness levels. It doesn't translate into words. We can start to understand what this is, but it's not a this thing. So energy is we see energy by its effects. It creates movement. There are two kinds of basic energy. There are a lot of different kinds, but they break down into two basic energies. There's energy of movement, and there's energy of potential. The rock. Now the rock, when we get into the small level, is just full of vibration and movement and energy of movement. But the rock on the big level, on the Newtonian level, on the level where we live in body, day to day, is full of potential energy. Just to give us an idea of how matter and energy are the same, there's the famous equation, energy equals matter times the speed of light squared, E equals mc squared. Einstein came up with that equation. It's kind of taken for granted now. But on a spiritual level, it's an incredible thing. Matter is very dense energy. There's unbelievable laws going on here. There's a certain amount of plutonium that cannot exist. It's called a critical mass. I don't know what it is. Say it's 100 pounds, for example. But there's an amount of plutonium. You can't have more than 100 pounds of plutonium. It cannot exist in the physical world. That's the nature of the rules, the natural law. An atomic bomb, you take 51 pounds and 51 pounds of plutonium, and you put dynamite here and dynamite here, and you blow them into each other. As soon as they make contact, they can't exist. And that 102 pounds of plutonium becomes energy. The energy in your body could probably destroy thousands and thousands of square kilometers, miles. I mean, you transform matter into energy, pure energy, and this little hand here is packed, dense with energy. So energy is movement, or it's the potential, which is the rock. And then the movement is heat. Heat is energy, it's movement energy. Movement, nuclear. There's a bunch of different kinds of energy that move, that do work, that create change. Now, everything is moving. Even if it seems like it's not moving, everything is moving. The law of the universe is movement and change. And that's the law of the physical universe. One of the laws, but it's an immutable law. If one particle stopped moving, that's the end of the universe. That's it. Everything is in continuous change and unbelievable motion that we can't even begin to understand. Things blinking in and out of existence so many times, like a fan. You see a fan? When the fan starts going really quickly, it looks like it's taking up this whole space in a kind of a blurry way. But it's not. That's the way that physical matter, it seems, operates. It comes in and out of existence so fast, it seems solid. It seems like this, but it's not. It's not. What the Hindus, who found out by simply sitting still with their eyes closed for thousands and thousands of hours and hundreds of generations, they discovered what modern physics seems to be discovering in so many different ways. But there's a thing called string theory. And string theory says that the basic building block of the universe is vibrating strings, sound, vibrating. The Hindus, Anand Brahma, the world is sound, the basic building block, vibration, movement, energy. Now, we who are following this kind of a path are surrounded by people talking about energy. And sometimes they know what they're talking about, and sometimes they don't. Energy, bad energy, good energy, all these kinds of things, they're very interesting ways of framing things. Sometimes they're accurate, and sometimes they're not accurate. What seems like bad energy in one context could very well be the most constructive thing that will happen to a person. I was surrounded by bad energy for quite a while in my recent past. And it was the greatest blessing I've had. This bad energy activated. First, it forced me to be honest with and work with the internal dysfunction that needed this bad energy to reveal itself. It also brought about an incredible discipline, because I didn't want to be drowned by and destroyed by and have my own lower energies take over. So the bad energy was the best energy that there was for me at that moment. And so energy has its own wisdom. we're going to bring the conversation to the practicality of our beings, away from the theories of physics and work and all of these different ideas. The practicality of our beings. Our body is composed of various energetic systems. We can look at it as one overall energetic system, and we can break it down into emotional energetic system, into mental energetic system, then all of the lymphatic energetic system. The nervous system is actually electricity, the circulatory, all these different systems with their own energies, hopefully doing this, because when they don't do this and synthesize and harmonize and synchronize, then we have dis-ease states, we have imbalance states. And yes, we are in imbalance to a great extent, which is why we're doing the work that we're doing, is because what we're doing is we're bringing consciousness. And there's two sides to it. One is consciousness of the dis-ease and the imbalance, and then working with it in a way that surrenders the need to try and control it and fix it. Because as we just said, the energy systems themselves have their own wisdom. This energy system, the mental energy system, is wonderful. I mean, it's so necessary. Put the toothpaste on the toothbrush. Without this, we don't tie our shoes, right? Our hearts don't beat. That's the automatic nerves. But this thinking mind, how did I put my shirt on? I put it on because I've learned to do so. I snap the snap. This one's unsnapped. I'll snap the snap. This is the beauty of the thinking mind. The number of things that we are able to do due to the proper training of this mind is incredible. And the way that we've worked to create unbelievable bounty on the earth. However, this imbalanced mental system has created unbelievable havoc and destruction, both in our internal worlds, personal worlds, and in the greater communal world of other people, animals, plants, and the earth herself. Air, fire, water, earth. Very imbalanced due to our imbalanced reliance on this without the energetic system of heart, which is not just the emotional heart. I'm talking about universal heart, empathetic heart, much bigger than emotions. It's an understanding. It's the opposite of narcissism. It's an understanding that there is no true value in the individuated self that's not connected to the whole entire group of individuated selves. It has independent value, but its real value is connection. So all of these energetic systems that we have going, what we're doing is we're bringing consciousness to the dysfunction so that we can surrender this. Because this is always trying to take control. I feel so bad. I will pretend I'm not feeling bad, right? Mental thing. I will fight with it. I shouldn't be feeling bad. Mental thing. I will deny it. Well, we already did denial. I will suppression denial. I will blame it on someone. Not take responsibility. Energetic. To bring consciousness to the dysfunction that's here, to the things that aren't working here, is to be aware of them. And then to surrender to the greater. Surrender once for example, I am conscious of anxiety. There is anxiety here. I don't fight with it. Anxiety is an energy. You can feel it. I don't fight with it. I don't explain it. I don't lie about it. I don't suppress it. I don't deny it. I don't blame it on someone else. I just acknowledge it, feel it, see it, be with it, and I surrender. Because that anxiety has an energy like a storm. And the storm will blow itself out over time. However, the dysfunctional things in here don't operate like the weather. The weather has a natural pattern. The storm gathers, blow, lightning, thunder, blows up, and then dissipates. If I have anxiety, for example, and I don't surrender to it, I don't let it blow itself out by being neutral with it, by observing it and letting it do its thing without fighting, arguing, blaming, suppressing, denying, without doing those things, then what I'm doing is I'm feeding the storm. And while I might successfully suppress it, or drink it away for a little while, or smoke it away, or sex it away for a little while, it will come back stronger because I've fed it. And it will run my life from underground. So to bring these energies to consciousness and then be brave enough, honest enough to bring them to consciousness, responsible enough to say that this is where it's happening. No matter what seems to have caused it out there, this is where the responsibility for letting it dissipate lies. The courage to let it dissipate. And to just stand there in the storm, even though it feels bad. And the surrender that we're talking about, the courage and the surrender, is understanding that the energy has its natural course. Energy has its internal wisdom. For example, anxiety. This overall structure, this mental, emotional, spiritual structure has its wisdom. And if I follow the law, if I allow this to not, if I make sure that this only does the job of acknowledging, and really it's a broader acknowledging, this is just, okay, it's there, then get out of the way. And this stops being the boss. This is the boss when I'm tying my shoes, not when I'm doing spiritual work, not when I'm relating to others. Business maybe, but even so, business should have heart. We do this so that there should be win-win, or the business is not right. And your soul will suffer. You might get the money. You might get the girl. You might get the boy. But you're not going to get the happiness. The attention you might get. But you're not going to get the happiness and the peace. The anxiety, to stay with the example. There is a storm outside. The anxiety, for example, to acknowledge it with consciousness, and then to allow it to do its thing, which means to remove this thinking desire to control everything and allow the internal wisdom of that energy. This system will, left to its own devices, properly discharge anxiety and leave me free of anxiety. We don't do that. We don't know how to do that. We learn the exact opposite. We learn to fake it. Well, I'm not anxious. Lie to ourselves. We don't even get to the place where we acknowledge it's there. If we see it's there, we take something, distract something, sex something. We push it down. We blame it on someone else, right? All these are dysfunctional ways. The growing that we're doing, the maturing that we're doing, that we're learning, is to actually stand there like an adult. Own the anxiety. This is where it's happening. No matter what it caused it, what the back, this is where it is. To be honest about it. And then to allow it the natural wisdom of not the thinking mind to take care of it. Surrender. Every system. I mean, I've always got cuts all over my hands. Now I can't find one. But this right here, for example, I burned myself a while ago. Now, how is that healing so unbelievably and perfectly? It's not this, that's for sure. I'm not healing this with my personality and with the force of my will. It is healing itself through the natural wisdom of the body, as will the emotions, the anxiety we just spoke of, heal itself with the natural wisdom of this system. And then the greater system that we contact almost every time we get together here. The greater system has a wisdom that will heal everything. Everything. The physical body, the emotional body, the spiritual body, the etheric body, meaning the way things move through the energetic system of them. All of these things, all of the bodies that we separate that are really just one experience, just like this separate experience is no different from that. We just separate it because we've come to believe through an incredible training that these things are separate. They have separation. The emotional feeling in my body and the thinking in my head, they have actual differences, but are they truly separate? No, they're not. Are we truly separate? So the greater contact we have and the greater surrender we have to the wisdom of the energetic systems in which we live and the greater overall energetic system in which we live, it's called obedience to natural law or surrender to the divine, to God. It doesn't matter. These are just words. Let's not be offended because we use the word God. Let's not be offended because we didn't use the word God. We're talking about the same thing. We're talking about the experience of emancipation, of space without conflict, absolute ease, connection. Let's just close our eyes. We're not going to do a long. Let's just close our eyes for 30 to 60 seconds, because right at this very moment, there's an unbelievable potentiality for feeling the connection, the connectedness of the one energetic system. Don't explain it. Please don't explain anything. Just allow what's happening to happen. This voice is your voice. These ears are your ears. This voice is my voice. These ears are my ears. This voice is our voice. These ears are our ears. And there is one undifferentiated system in which a voice and ears interact and disappear and reappear and disappear. It's quite incredible. Open your eyes again, please. The energetic world is the invisible world. The physical world is the result of the energetic world. So the more deeply we are connected to the energetic world, the more beautiful, predictable, positive, joyful, and amazingly nourishing for all parts, seemingly separate parts, will be the experience. Maybe it's because we've been doing this together for a while, but there's a certain community of energy. You see, we're talking about energy now, not coincidentally, because what we're doing is we're creating and tuning with that which is invisible, the actual energetics that create everything, every result, every change. Take your hands, put your thumb in the center of your palm, and push so you can feel it. Push so you can feel it. Rotate your thumb a bit, get that point nice and activated. Now the other hand. Get that hand nice and activated, right there at the center of your palm. Feel that. Good. Now clap your hands together, the palms of your hands together. And be aware of your hands. You can close your eyes or not close your eyes, but put your hands about 8 inches to a foot apart and move them gently. Open your eyes for a second just so you can see, like this. Move your hands closer and further, like this, until you feel something between them. Don't let them touch. Don't get them too close. You will feel a pressure between your hands, a repulsion, or an attraction, or a tingling, or a heat, or any combination of these things. You might feel your hands kind of disappearing. There might be light. Move them back and forth. Play with that. Feel that. That is an experience of energy. You are actually feeling and working with energy right now. This is the precursor. It's the cause. It's the invisible, out of which all visible, all change, all movement comes from this. Now close your eyes and keep your hands, keep the consciousness of that energy between your hands. Let it grow. Let it intensify. Understand that this is all of the energy in the universe. Before the universe and after the universe, between your hands right now, is everything and nothing. The invisible from which all is born. You might feel your hands spreading apart. Let them. Let your hands open. Spread your arms wider and wider. Let your arms open. Let your chest open. Embrace the universe. Hold it. Hold it in your unbelievably open, all-inclusive, free embrace. Feel the embrace. Feel the warmth and the beauty of the embrace. You are being hugged by this energy. Everything is inside of this, and you are inside of it. You are hugging yourself. You are hugging me. You are hugging all of us. You are holding creation. Bring your hands back together. 8 inches, 10 inches, 12 inches apart. 40 centimeters, 30 centimeters. Feel that. Let the energy dissolve your hands. Let it dissolve your wrists, your forearms. Let it dissolve your arms completely. There are no arms now. You can let your hands down. You can keep your hands up. Do whatever's comfortable. There are this light, vibrational, energetic field is dissolving your shoulders and your chest and your throat and your head, disappearing. Your chest, your stomach, your back, your genital region, your hips, all disappearing into this open, everything energetic space. Legs, knees, feet. Everything is dissolved, and all that there is consciousness. Now the sense of energy disappears in pure consciousness. Consciousness, you can feel energy if you want. It can be there or it cannot be there. Because consciousness is before energy, during energy, and after energy. Unbelievable. You can put your consciousness in the center of energy and feel the vibrational incredibleness of all of creation, or you can drop that. And there's only consciousness. Only consciousness. Perhaps there's light, so gentle, so diffuse. Now come back to the body. Feel your hands, feel your arms, feel your chest and your neck and your face and your head and your chest and your back and your stomach and your groin and your hips and your legs and your feet. Now this is, for the time being, the energetic universe. Feel the skin and what's inside the skin as a movement or as a presence. Feel the unbelievable vibration. It's called vitality. It's called vitality. It's called strength. I am here. I feel this energy coursing through my body. It is movement. It is stability. It's unbelievable. This is the gift of life. Feel it. There is nothing that is not perfectly balanced and healed in this situation. This body is meant to be here. This is an energetic system tied to all other energetic systems, and yet at this moment we feel it individual. I feel my body. I feel my voice. I feel my ears. There is sound. There is reception. I open my hands. I close my hands. I clap my hands. I rest in the vibration of my own perfection. I am absolutely perfect. And as soon as there's a thought or a feeling to the contrary, it cannot survive unless I feed it. Because the natural order is I am perfect and balanced and brimming with energetics and love. I feel love. I am the state of love. I am compassion. I feel every being on this earth that's ever been, that is, that ever will be, every plant, every virus, every thinking, non-thinking, sentient rock, doesn't matter. Mother Earth, I feel the water flowing on Mother Earth. I feel the air moving its weather patterns all around. I feel everything, and yet I am embodied. I am here. I am individuated. I am a cell in this amazing organism. Gaia, or Gaia, I don't know how it's pronounced, the earth, the living earth, and all the organisms that live on it, and the fire at her core, and the layers and layers of earth and rock, to the thin layer of life on the outside, and water, and then air, moving weather patterns, and then atmosphere. And within that, I have my function, my place, my mission, which is to be connected to this energy, to be completely surrendered to this energy, which is that which takes perfect care of me. My body, my mind, my emotions, my soul are unified and connected to all else. And yet, the cell has its job and its function. What is my job? What is my function? I will stay in this state. I will return to this state. I will never lose track of this state. When the kids are yelling, when the line at the grocery is this, and the COVID is that, and the other thing is annoying, I will not forget that this is who I am. And my mission, my reason for being on Earth, beyond survival, why I am here as a cell in the greater organism, will gently and automatically reveal. This is the wisdom of the energy that I am. Sit quietly, please. Stay with this consciousness. This is essentially who I am. Do I feel amazing? Sure I do. Am I amazing? Absolutely. Will I re-enter? Will I find myself in confusion again? No doubt. Will I remember this? Yes. With discipline and practice, yes. More and more, yes. Absolutely. I stay here now, so I solidify this. And I simply enjoy being an energetic cell in the energetic body of all creation. Gently bring my hands together, rub them together, become conscious of the actual physical body. Touch my arms. I can open my eyes or not open my eyes. Touch my arms, my shoulders, my chest, my stomach, sides of my body, my legs, my face, my head, my neck, my ears, my nose, my eyes. Open my eyes. I'm here. Takes a while sometimes to re-enter the so-called normal consciousness after going that far out. But really, these are just coexisting realities. We just spend all of our time in this so-called normal reality. We need to spend a lot more time in that energetic reality. In that place, did you notice how in that place there was no conflict, there was no dis-ease, there was no imbalance? All there was consciousness and a lot of really amazing, beautiful feelings and manifestations of consciousness and connection. In that place, healing is occurring because we removed the sabotage. In that place, balancing has happened because we've removed the sabotage. In that place, strength is building. And our mission is revealing. And so we need to contact and to remain in contact with that as much as possible without losing that which we need to be careful crossing the street. Be careful with the stove. We got to be practical. We can't lose safety because that space can become very spacey. It's a balance between that and the demands of the everyday world. But as we connect with that energetic self more and more and acknowledge it as the Grand Master, this is not the Grand Master. This is not the Grand Master. I will not think my way. I will not think positively and get out of this. I will not think my way through a philosophical system or some series of ideas. I will not get to where I need to go, where my heart and soul and being crave. I will not reveal my mission, my purpose on earth by allowing this to be the master. This is the master of the physical world. Weave the blanket. Put on the shirt. Drive the car. Hold the child's hand when you cross. All of these crucial things. But not for this healing, balancing, connecting. That which is the grand purpose is not this. And so what we're doing is we're practicing and we're learning to contact with and contact and surrender to that Grand Master. And did you see that Master, the wisdom of the grand energetic system? God, nature, higher self. I don't care what it's called. You don't care what it's called either. Or you do care. Whatever you need to do, just do this. Just contact it. Call it whatever you need to call it. Did you notice how lovely it was in that state? Of course you did. That's the undifferentiated, that's where we want to be, combined with and integrated into the physical world. When that is controlling this completely, and this physical world, physical expression and the doing is under the control of that being, we've arrived. And we are the mission. We are the embodied light that we came here to learn to be and to share with others. So always we move out of these sharings with the very clear understanding that we are adults. And as adults, we have responsibility, which means this will not do it for this. Only this can do it for this. This greater self. This is the support system. Thank you. Thank you. But it is not the locus. It is not the focus, the center of the work that needs to be done. That's here, 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 here. That's where this happens. That's where we have to do the work. We have to spend the time in silence by ourselves, actually doing the work, taking the time, creating the stillness, surrendering to the greater energetic, connected whole, and allowing that slowly. Remember the anxiety that we started out with. Didn't feel good. The greater wisdom that will heal that anxiety will not heal it by just saying, boop, there you go, it's gone. It's going to heal it in a way that this particular thing, and this is going to try to rebel. It's going to want to take control, suppress it, fight it, argue with it, blame it, push it out, push it in, push it down, whatever it's going to try to do. That is not the greater wisdom. That is the this wisdom. That is the ego wisdom, which is a very small, very necessary wisdom. Perhaps not ego wisdom, physical wisdom. They're talking about the ego sabotage. Anyway, words, words, words. The greater system will heal these dysfunctions, but it will not happen without the conscious moving into it and surrender to it. Surrendering to it means it will feel bad sometimes. We are adults. We are not here to feel good all the time. We are here to move towards feeling good all the time. And perhaps we will, perhaps we won't reach that state. There's the light at the end of the tunnel, which is nirvana, heaven, the perfected state where this greater energetic whole runs the show and this thing just obeys it and lives in bliss. Wonderful. But as of now, we are in the tunnel. So there's the light in the tunnel. We just experienced light in the tunnel. We are in the tunnel, moving towards the light, and in the middle of the tunnel was this explosion of light. We were together in this space of undifferentiated beauty and energetic connection, and we loved that state. And it's there at any moment we can connect to it. Sometimes we won't be able to connect to it. So what? That is to be accepted with the adulthood and the responsibility of simply understanding, for now I don't feel good. How am I going to feel good and move through and find the light in the tunnel? I'm going to do it by being honest about the not feeling good, understanding that it's here, no matter what seems to have caused it, surrendering to the greater whole and feeling bad if necessary. If I can feel gratitude for that, for the feeling bad, that's a magnificent power. Thank you for this feeling. I understand it's necessary. Thanks. Thank you for this feeling. The example we had with anxiety. Thank you for this anxiety. Give me more if I can take it. Because I understand that what's happening now is the natural greater system is letting this storm of anxiety dissipate and blow itself out. And in the process, this feels not good, but thank you for the process and for the processing and for the bringing me through, and ask for help, ask for help, ask for help. Help me. Ask whoever you need to ask. Ask your higher self, ask your soul, ask the love that you share with your dog. I don't care what you call it God. We're going to talk about God and dogs one day, by the way. There's no coincidence that God and dog are back. We'll talk about that. But to be brave, to be courageous, to face it. We're here as adults to face what it is we need to face. Sometimes we will not feel good. If we feel bad in unconstructive ways, then we're feeding the storm and we will feel worse later. Take a drink. Sex it out. Push it down. Blame it out. Fight it. Argue with it. Deny it. All of these things might give us temporary relief, but what we've done is we've fed it. Not responsible. Responsible is, as we just spoke, again, simply acknowledge, admit, allow, surrender. If possible, gratitude, ask for help. And the other side of the other responsibility is to actually turn the corner, if we haven't done so, and create a discipline. I'm just saying, start with 30 seconds in the morning, first thing you wake up. If you can't get out of bed and sit up because your partner is going to say something to you, just lie back. 30 seconds of stillness in the morning. Contact what we just contacted. Last thing before you go to sleep, 30 seconds of that. Let it build, let it be more. Create meditation/prayer. Meditation is listening. Prayer is speaking. You want to do a lot more listening than speaking. You really do. You do. Because you don't know what you're asking for. I don't know what I'm asking for. The greater wisdom knows. Just surrender to it. If you need to speak, speak as much as you need to speak. The responsibility for turning the corner and creating an actual daily discipline whereby that greater energetic self is contacted and surrendered to cannot be substituted for. There's no way around it. There's no way over it, under it, only through. And that is what we are doing here, is opening those channels, learning some techniques, and just being together. Unbelievable gratitude. You guys, us guys, all of us, we're just this thing that we do. Magnificent, really. Thanks to all of us. Thanks to each and every cell of the community. Thanks to the community. Thanks to the world and to the universe. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Go forth and spread. Spread the light. Grow the light. Be the light. Shine the light. I love you guys. I'll see you soon.